So today's video, I'm going to convert this room into this with the lowest budget possible. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I created this home YouTube studio with a zero budget. So the main thing about a YouTube studio is lighting, and the key components of lighting are the key light, the fill light, a rim light and practicals. So okay, back to the past. So first I'm going to talk about the key light, which is the main light which lightens the subject. First I'm going to turn this light off and I'm going to place the key light straight in front of me. So now we have our key light turned on and I have placed this light just in front of me. So you can see that there are no shadows on my face and it is kind of a flat picture. So to get some shadows and to make this shot more dramatic, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this light at an angle so that it makes some shadows on my face like this. And now we have some shadows on my face, but this is not really looking great. If you notice these shadows are really sharp and this is not really looking great. So what we have to do is that we have to soften this key light, and there comes the role of a softbox. And if you don't know what a softbox is, softbox, as the name suggests, it actually softens the light. For this YouTube studio, I just made my own softbox. The main part of the softbox is the diffuser layer, which actually diffuses the light and softens it. So you can use a shower curtain or a white cloth as a diffuser, and I just use a white cloth for diffusing the light. I will explain how a softbox works with an example. I have a subject and a light source on my table, and now there is no diffusion layer and the light from the source is directly hitting the subject. And if you look at the shadows, it is really harsh. Now if I place a diffusion layer in between the light and the subject, the shadows are just the way it was. So just by placing a diffusion layer won't matter. But as the diffusion layer moves away from the light source, the shadows become more soft. What we have learned is that we need to maximize the distance from the light source and the diffusion layer. And that is why we need a softbox. I will put a link to the video which helped me making a softbox on my own. So now I'm going to attach the softbox to the key light. And this is how it looks. Now if you notice the shadows are really softened. There are no harsh edges on the shadows. Now we have learned what is a key light. And the second one is the fill light. So if you look at these shots, there are really darkened shadows, So the fill light actually just fills up the shadow. And now I have turned the fill light and you can see that the shadows are not that dark as it was. But I don't prefer a fill light because I just want a more dramatic shot with more shadow. The next light is the rim light. So if you notice, you can see a rim over my shoulder and over my head, which actually separates the subject from the background. If I use this rim light, it actually separates me from the background. But I don't prefer this light. So just for the sake of a low budget YouTube studio, I'm going to save this light for the practical. Yeah, so what are the practicals? The practicals are placed on the background just to give an ambience to the shot. So now I'm going to place a table on the background, and on that I will set a table light. So that can be considered as a practical. But the light is actually white and I don't want a white light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that a yellow light by just swapping a yellow tracing paper. So now this shot is looking much better. But I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to make the wall more bluish just by using another table light. I think just by adding a blue color on the wall has improved this shot a lot better. That is because these yellow and blue colors are complementary colors. The yellow and the blue color lies on the opposite sides of a color wheel. So these colors actually becomes a contrast. But the wall is still kind of empty. So I'm going to place 2 or 3 drawings on that. So now we have learned how to make a home YouTube studio with low budget, with actually zero budget. So the main aim of this video was to encourage you guys if you're planning to start off a new YouTube channel and you haven't yet because you don't have enough money to buy all those cameras and stuff. The thing is that you don't have to spend all those money, all those really expensive cameras. You don't have to do that. You just can record on a smartphone, and for building up a YouTube studio, if you want to, you can just buy some affordable lights, and just like I did. So that's it for this video. If you found this video useful, please leave a like, and if you're new here and if you want to support me, hit the subscribe button. It will be really encouraging.